Good Friday morning. Today's Friday, November 8th, 2024, and this is your Friday safety meeting. My name's Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. I've got Dave White. He also works in the safety department. Believe it or not, so many people get us mixed up.
I could see the resemblance very easily, Dennis.
I mean, you got me by what, 15 years?
Maybe.
Probably about 6 inches taller than I am.
I think you may be sporting a little bit more gray than me, though.
I got a little bit more gray. I got a lot less hair. But
that's true. You've already lost that. You're in the right department for losing hair. You know that, right?
But people often get us mixed up. So, just to reintroduce ourselves, I'm Dave. I'm Dennis.
You already messed that up.
I'm Dennis.
See, you are getting older. You can't just be picking on me about it.
Exactly. So, hey, we do this most Friday mornings. We got one coming up that we're going to July 4th, 2025 is on a Friday morning. So we may have to make some decisions on what we're going to do with that. So bring you in after a round of fireworks and get this meeting done. So
a rough day at the lake or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We got a little bit of time. We appreciate you guys joining us this morning. We are live here in Springfield, Missouri. We're also simulcasting to our outside locations in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City, Utah, as well as we are live across all the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So welcome to our folks that are watching or listening live, as well as folks that'll be tuning in sometime in the future. We know that a lot of different people outside of the organization watch this. They're tuned into what we have to say. Prime is a really popular company. We are a really big staple in the trucking industry, and people are curious to what we have going on. So, and of course, it's always interesting to hear from, Robert Lowe and Steve Luckey and Daryl Hopkins, toward the end of the meeting. So, if you don't want to hear from Dave and Dennis, that's fine. You can scrub there to the end, and listen to what Robert and Steve have to say.
And we've really come a long ways with these meetings. Back before I started, which was over 23 years ago, they do these on cassette tapes. I don't know how many people know what cassette tapes are, but
surely they do.
Then we moved them to DVDs or CDs, I should say, not DVDs, but CDs, and then moved along the way, and it's progressed to what it is today, man. So
Don Lacey and Steve Field, would be on a cassette tape. You had to hit three buttons at one time to start the recording. Yeah, I remember that. And we'd be over there in the old break room. It'd be every other Friday at that point.
Yep.
So we've definitely evolved.
Saturdays too.
Saturdays too.
Yeah, we did Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, definitely evolved this. How many of you have been here long enough to remember picking up these CDs at truck stops? The Friday safety meetings on CD at various truck stops around the country. Yeah, I see one over there. So we definitely have evolved into what we can do essentially live right now. So we appreciate you guys being here with us. It's the getting into the holiday season. It's November. You see, I've got my warm sweater on. It was pretty brisk as I came to work this morning. Dave will probably have on shorts tomorrow, but this is that time of year, and we really love this time of year. It's a good time to be out and be running. The kids are in school, Halloween's done, election's over, everybody's got everything done they need to do. This is the time to get out, be available, and run some freight, right, Dave?
It is. It's, it's a beautiful time, and like Dennis said, nice and cool outside in the mornings, and we haven't quite hit that freezing mark here in the Midwest, but I can tell you, some of you, I'm sure, they're watching weather, and out in Colorado and New Mexico, they've had their snow and ice already, and I think I-25 is still shut down out there from, I think they said this morning, from Pueblo down to the New Mexico line. So, you got to watch it. It's going to be changing. It starts out west usually, and it has again this year. So watch those higher elevations if you're heading to California or Oregon or Washington out that direction, and even our terminal out in Utah, they always do a good job, and we'll get them on here in a minute. But, hey, watch those roads because they'll be changing quickly.
It will. Hey, so breakfast is free. So if you haven't ordered breakfast, jump in line here at all three of our locations. John Blass and his team do a fabulous job of taking care of all of our hungry folks. So let's give them a round of applause. Blance and his team do so many Prime events. They've got one coming up next Wednesday, the Veterans Banquet next Wednesday. We've got a whole bunch of people already signed up. I think we've got over 300 folks signed up, but there's still time for you to sign up at a team if you want to come. Get with your fleet manager, get you right here to Springfield, Missouri, and we will get you taken care of. But soon after that, we'll start the round of holiday parties, Dave.
There we go, man. The fun will ensue. So, part of what we believe in here and core values is having fun, Dennis.
It just seems like a few weeks ago we were talking about the company picnic rounds, and here we are already talking about the holiday
parties. That's right. And all of our terminals and all have that, and that's what we believe in. And you guys all work hard, and we all do work hard here at Prime, but you do have that option to have some fun too at times. And those holiday parties are a good time to have that. Summer picnics are another good time. So we have multiple chances throughout the year, and hopefully everybody gets to hit one of those and enjoy yourself, so.
Sounds good. All right. So let's go east first. I think we got Rick Gifford and Richard Brock with us this morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Hey, you got Rick Gifford and Richard Yarborough this week. What a great week we had in Pennsylvania this week, and great orientation class. And drivers out there getting their CDL licenses, getting ready to get in trucks and ready to go haul some freight.
Sounds good. Appreciate you being here with us. Mr. Yarborough, haven't heard from you in the Friday morning meeting in a long time. Welcome.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm running around doing my crazy stuff I'm always doing. But I did want to take the opportunity this morning just to thank everyone for, what they do over the road, all of our driving associates, and appreciate their patience when they're coming through the terminal. We got a lot of things going on at the terminals and the shop-wise right now. I won't get into all the installs with IVGs and all that stuff, but we do have some construction. We have some crowding here. I did want to let everyone know just a couple of things real quick. On Monday, we have a little planning session. Mark Polly's coming up here to Pittston to hang out with us for a while. We're going to start designing some of the property down the road that we picked up. That's going to include some improvements to the training pad building. It's sort of a hassle for our trainers and trainees to run back and forth. We're not sort of centrally located the way it is in Springfield. So we're going to do some improvements down at the pad building, make that a little bit more friendly for, user-friendly for our drivers, trainers, and trainees. Also, just to kick this off, I don't think it's been mentioned yet, but this is a pretty big weekend, guys. I don't know if you know it or not, but Sunday, United States Marine Corps turns 249 years old. It's our birthday on Sunday, so happy birthday, Marines. And then the following day on Monday, I guess we'll celebrate it with the rest of the veterans as well. But thank you.
Always a pleasure, Rick Yarborough and Gifford. Always good to hear from you guys. Thank you, guys. If anybody there in Pittston have any questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to jump on the mic.
Hey, Dennis, I got one question for Rick Gifford. What's that hat you're wearing, Ricky?
It says, "I stand with Trump."
Oh, okay.
All right.
I don't usually see you with a hat on. That's why I'm asking. So, good deal.
All right, let's go west, Salt Lake City. Jonathan Grice, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic. What do you got for us this morning?
Oh, not a whole lot. I do want to kind of reiterate what Dave was talking about with the weather out west, specifically in Colorado and New Mexico and those areas. Out here in Salt Lake City, we have had some snow, but it's primarily stayed up in the mountains. So the roads out here are pretty clear and good to go, but especially out in Colorado, that Denver area is in pretty bad shape the last few days. So just be super careful there. I'm also want to mention orientation class, a smaller group this week, but we're excited to get those careers all started and glad to have those folks. And then the last few things I wanted to talk about was one, it is November 8th, so we're pretty close coming up here on the holidays, specifically Thanksgiving. If you haven't already got your home time plans facilitated with your fleet managers, please make sure you get in contact with them. We don't want to have any last minute home counters that, become challenging to hit. So please make sure you get with your fleet managers, start making those plans so we can make sure we accommodate those requests. The last thing I wanted to talk about, there is a lot of changes going on, new phone systems, we've got the geotabs and Netrodyne. So just wanted to say thank you to both our drivers and our in-house associates. These challenges and our adaptability is what make us great. So just wanted to say thank you to everybody involved with that.
Hey, Jonathan, real quick, just so you're not jealous, I'm wearing jeans today, just so you can see that. I know a couple of weeks ago, you were a little bit jealous.
All right. Thank God Dave's wearing pants today. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
All right, thank you guys.
All right. Right back here, Spring from Missouri. Good morning, folks. Man, what a week here at Prime, so, Rick talked a little bit about the election, that's over and done with. So it's important that we get back on the road. I can't reemphasize that enough, that we Halloween has somehow turned into a holiday, but, a week later we had, election day. So folks had the opportunity to stay home and vote, which I think is great. But now it's time to get back out and make some money, right?
It is. And, I know we haul a lot of candy before Halloween, and I'm sure leading up to Christmas, we'll haul a lot more. But, besides that, people are going to eat, Dennis. That's what it comes down to, man. And Thanksgiving's coming, and I know you got family coming in, and so do I, and many of us, and some of our drivers, we're going to ask, hopefully you could stay out there and run and take care of our customers, because people are going to eat. There's no doubt about it. And Christmas, same thing. And we appreciate everything that you all do. And especially two of our do we have any new people in orientation this week, new associates? I think Dee said most of them already got trainers, right? How about at the other terminals? If you have any new associates this week in orientation, if you could all please stand, we'd love to give you a round of applause. If we have any new ones, stand on up. Yeah, appreciate you. But yeah, man, we're gonna get busy here real quick with the freight. There's no doubt. We always do before Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's what we expect our drivers to be ready to roll.
Jonathan talked about some of the technology changes that we've had here just this week alone. Of course, the Netrodot and Geotab, we've been doing that for a couple weeks, but we switched phone systems. So, just as panicky as some of the drivers are about their Geotab and Netrodot systems, our in-house associates, you're included, we had our turn when we switched over the phone system. So, we were a little bit nervous about how that went. Did you do the training?
I did the training a couple of times. I watched the video. Yeah, Brienne sent it to me, and very educational. And hopefully all of our drivers, you're able to still get in and talk to us. And if you're not, you get cut off for some reason, keep trying. But the system so far, Dennis, first couple of days, I think it's working fine. It's a little bit smoother than our old system. So, but yeah, it's, how about you? You do the training, or are you just one of these savants that just get this?
Well, it's not important whether I did the training or not. Okay.
There we go.
What is important is that you were a little bit apprehensive at first, but now that you've made that change, you probably like it a little bit better.
I do. Yeah, I do like the Zoom. It's a nice phone system, and the transfers, we're transferring people and drivers and customers. It's much more smoother, I think. At least it is on the safety side, and hopefully it is on our operations and sales team too as well. So, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'll take this opportunity to say this. There's about 2,000 people, give or take, that work here at Prime that don't drive a truck. Okay. And we all know that the most difficult job in the trucking industry is to be behind the wheel, be on the road, but there's some folks that had a really tough job this week with everything that's going on. And I just want to give special recognition. I saw Rodney around here somewhere, to Rodney Rader, Brienne Madura, and all of the IT team for really just dealing with all of our anxiety this week and really just bringing it all together. They did a fantastic job. So let's give those folks a round of applause. When we talk about, folks that, don't haul freight, they don't pick up and deliver anything on time. And we know that. But this week, I think those guys were the MVP for keeping us going. So
you got that right.
Thank you guys so much. And I know not everybody on your team is here, and they're probably not listening because they're dealing with whatever they deal with. But I just want to say thank you to you guys. So, hey, I want to bring D Sova up for just a second. Yeah, come on over here. Come on up here. Hurry up. Chew that food.
Chew the food.
Chew that food. Dave and I, on separate situations, had a little bit of an opportunity to spend some time with D Sova this week. But first, a couple weeks ago, you won an award, and I want you to talk about that for just a quick second. Go ahead.
This is so impromptu, y'all. So I am a veteran on America's Road Team. And so surprisingly, at the biggest event they have called MCE through the ATA this year, they called me on the stage to win the John Lex Premier Achievement Award. Y'all, I cried like a baby.
Give
all the way
her
up
a round of applause.
This is the highest award you can achieve on America's Road Team. John Lex was a driver for Walmart. I have to tell his story because it's so heartbreaking. He was a great guy. He was a great captain on the team. When I first became an America's Road Team captain, he was the first person that came up to me, introduced himself to me, and he remained consistently a good, great guy the whole time we were on this team and through that America's Road Team process. And so he unfortunately passed away from cancer January 10th of 2022. And then 2 months later, my husband passed away. So as I'm walking up on the stage, receiving this award, all of this is coming to mind, that John is no longer here, but it was such an honor to be a part of his legacy in receiving that award.
Let's give her another round of applause. You know, Prime got some awesome people that work here. So we thank you for your service to the industry, but more, you know, closer to home. We appreciate what you do here at Prime. You know, so I got a little opportunity to hang out with Dee yesterday, and I did you know that we were coming over there?
No.
You know, so I had on my list of notes of things to do. You know, I got to get this accomplished, and my calendar magically opened up for about 2 straight weeks. So I got an opportunity to kind of clean up all those things that I haven't got done yet. And one of those was to, you know, get with Stan Casterkey to take all of our safety folks out on a sample live evaluation. So for folks that don't know what the live evaluation is, if you find yourself in some trouble, maybe we need to do some post-accident coaching or something like that, we have you do the simulator, but we also put you live in a truck and we have you go out with an instructor to kind of, you know, evaluate your driving skills. So we said, hey, I need to get all my safety guys in there to do it, myself included. I just want to see the path we take. I want to see, you know, how the evaluators evaluate the driver that's participating. So we said, man, we need to get a driver over here to get evaluated. So who do we choose? Dee Sofa. So tell us about that experience. Was that? I assume that was the first time.
Needs to come up here. Stan Casterkey came to me, hey, I have a project and I'm nominating you to be the volunteer driver. I was terrified because whenever, you know, Prime Inc. executives come and want to get on the truck or something, there's something unnerving that happens. So we got Dennis and Dave in the truck. Who is the other guy?
Bill Sprague.
Bill Sprague.
And the new guy, Brandon.
And Brandon. So 2 different trips. First of all, I'm terrified as Dennis is climbing into the truck. I'm like, dang, what are they looking for? I've got the examiner, Brett, who was, you know, doing his job, explaining to them what he looks for. So now I'm overthinking, y'all. I literally was on my best behavior driving. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
And she did a fantastic job.
But I'm terrified. But this one right here wanted me to pull the truck into Andy's so he can get some custard something.
That was
if y'all
part of the
knew where that
evaluation.
parking lot was, it's very small. There's no way. Like, but it was really nice to be able to let them see, you know, I think that every in-house person, and this is just me, I think every single one of you who are in-house should get in a truck and go on a drive. I think you need to understand what these drivers have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. I did get caught not really knowing the full bridge height on the ride with you. I glanced and I wasn't even thinking about it. Thank God I called out. I said 14.1. It was actually 14.4. So on that first trip, you know, that was my one little fault. But on the second trip, and this one right here, he was talking the whole time. And so on the second one, I started paying more attention. And so when you guys get on that eval, just know that we're not trying to pick on you. The examiners are not your enemy. If you're called in because of an incident, just know it's because we're protecting you and we're protecting Prime. We're making sure that you are a safe driver, and it will show up on that drive test because there are things that the examiner is going to note that you're not aware of. So you need to pay attention. You know, an incident doesn't mean the end of your career here, depending on what the incident is. It's just an opportunity to grow.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. How long you been driving, Dean?
I've had my CDL for 33 years.
33 years and still went out and did an evaluation for us. Thank you, Dee, so much. Let's give her a round of applause.
And over 3 million saved miles too, on top of that.
Excellent
So
work.
she's done
Excellent
great.
work. So
Yeah, man, I was pretty good, Dennis, on that. I thought Dee was 10 out of 10 on my drive.
she did an
I'm
excellent
glad she
job.
didn't listen to you.
Well, that was part of the evaluation.
We've been buying an Andy's building out
to
here.
see
I
if
think,
she
so
would
that's
actually
good.
hook
Yes.
that left. You know, it's a naked left turn. See if she go in there and get that Andy's. She didn't, so she passed. So hey, you know, we've been rambling for about 25 minutes here.
Let's get going with
so
some safety
go
numbers
for it,
real
go
quick
for it.
here. So this past week we had 134 inspections. 94 of those were clean. So a 70% clean rate. Another week in the 70s, Dennis. So give yourself a round of applause. Those are some good numbers, everybody. We like seeing those 70s, so keep it going. And this morning we thought we'd have a guest speaker come up here. So we have Stephanie Ewing from our safety department. She's going to talk about reporting citations. So good morning, Stephanie. Good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you. I heard that, Dee. So I want to talk about reporting accidents and reporting citations. So if you get a citation in your personal vehicle or in the big truck, make sure that you scan that into the citations department. Sarah and Brian, they can assist you. If you get a citation in the truck, you know, there's differences between just a moving violation, a serious traffic violation, or a major traffic violation. A serious, if you get 2 or more in a 3-year period, your CDL will be suspended. Guilty to a major traffic violation, your CDL is suspended for life. So that's something that we want to protect. So make sure that you scan in all tickets, all citations, all inspections to the citations department. You can go to Trip Docs, Scan Docs, citations, or inspections, IN or CT, okay? Reporting an accident, no matter how small we may think it is still damage that we did to someone else's property that they would have to pay for to fix. Therefore, we need to report all incidences or accidents. It is very, very important. If you think backing up and hitting a fence isn't really that big of a deal, they say it's not a big deal. It is. They still have to pay money for our mistake, okay? So make sure that you call the safety department. We're staffed 24/7, 365, and report it. Make sure that you get the contact name for whoever owns the property. If it's ruts in the grass, the curb, the fence, whatever it may be, make sure that you give us a call and get it reported to us, okay? Any questions? Cool beans.
Short, quick, and to the point. Thank you, Stephanie. Let's give her a round of applause.
All right, thank you. Man, we're ticking down on time. We got to get rolling, don't we?
I know. We got logs
So
next.
we got logs. Yeah, let's get.
Alicia Scarlett, come on up here. You know, this isn't her first time, but she's real nervous. But she'll do a great job. So Alicia is one of the newer associates in our law department, and you know, compliance is always, you know, it's almost like a bad word sometimes, but it's so necessary for what these folks do. These folks are not our enemy. They're not here to catch up on anything. They're advisors. They're here to help us get it right. So good morning, Alicia. What do you got for us this morning?
Good morning. I'm just going to go over a couple of Geotab things, just like switching from Qualcomm to Geotab. What you'll want to do before you make that switch is call us. So if you have an appointment scheduled with the shop, call us so that way we can make sure that there's no like unassigned events or anything on your truck. And then the biggest thing to remember is to certify your logs on the Qualcomm before you log out. We cannot get you switched over to Geotab until they're certified. We have Qualcomms, but it takes us a while to be able to get it done. So make sure that you certify before you log out. And then the Big thing is, again, if you don't have any access to Qualcomm, call us. We will get it done for you, but just try to do it before you log out. And then an FYI to anyone who is currently fully on GeoTab, on Monday, 11/11, we're going to put everyone who's fully on GeoTab on the PC pilot program. If you're not familiar with the PC pilot program, it is basically if you need PC, you'll need to call message logs. We can make sure it's legal movement and get it activated. We are working on something to streamline it, to make it easier for you to have access to it, especially like nights, weekends when we don't have as much coverage. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns about that, just come see me after the meeting or call your log advisor or ask Dennis.
All right. Again, short, quick, and to the point. Thank you, Elisha.
Let's give her a round of applause.
Give her a round
Good
of
job.
applause.
That's right.
You know, Elisha talked about the transition from Qualcomm to GeoTab, and of course, that includes the installation of the Netrodon camera. So we think that is going fantastic so far. And Brienne might have to correct me on the number, but I think we're over 1,700 fully installed at this point. But, you know, here pretty quick, we're going to have to mash on the gas to get this done as quickly as we can. So if you're here at the terminal, if you're at Salt Lake City or Pittston, let's get on an appointment schedule. Let's get it done before you leave. You know, there's some folks out there that have the mindset that I'm going to kick this can down the road. I'm going to wait until December 31st or even December 32nd to try to get this done. That's poor planning. You know, we work in an industry where planning is so important because inevitably, if you wait, it's going to interrupt something. It's going to interrupt the home time during the holidays. It's going to end up being you have to give up the best load that you've ever been dispatched on in the history of your trucking career to get this done. Don't put yourself in that situation. This isn't going away. Let's just get it done. So if you haven't gotten it done yet, you're at a terminal, let's get it done. If you're not at a terminal, let's get with our fleet manager to put a plan together to get it done. Please, please, please do not wait to the last minute. Just like we tell you with everything else, don't wait to the last minute. Let's be sure to get these things done.
And I just want to say a big shout out to our shop and all of our people installs, just like our IT department. We have so much that goes on around here behind the scenes, and our shop mechanics and all of our terminals putting these devices in and they're hammering them out. And I think Chris Holtmeyer said, well, last week we had 600 plus trucks come through and they got them all knocked out. And just, you know, just 24/7, 365 in the shop, just like it is in trucking, you know, out on the road. So big thank you to all of them and all their dedication and getting them all knocked out. That's right. Give them a round of applause. There you go. Yep.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Hey, got a quick story for you this morning. As you well know, I stopped at the donut shop to bring the team some donuts. I try to do that every Friday, so every blue moon. You know, as I was leaving, you know, I saw a pretty woman in a little red car. She was looking at me and waving. I was like, dang, D, you still got it. And then I was like, oh man, that's Amanda. So I'm gonna ask Amanda to come on up. She's from our payroll. She's gonna bring Sarah with her. You had me all gassed up this morning and then just deflated myself. So, hey, good morning. Thank you for being with us this morning.
And the donuts were not for Dennis, unfortunately.
Luckily, it was me to give me a little more courage this morning. So,
good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda, and this is Sarah. With us heading into the holidays, we wanted to take some time and just jump ahead of the curve and prepare you for what we consider the scariest season of all. That's right, tax season. But it doesn't have to be scary because we're here to help. So we want to go over some payroll reminders to help prepare you for that upcoming time. Make sure that you're ready to go and have all of your information updated. So first off, well, while she's getting that up for us, first off, the most important is how do you get a hold of payroll? And when you have a question and you're panicking about your taxes, the first thing you're going to do is call your payroll advisor, right? Well, we're here. We're willing to help. We're going to help you get the right answers. So on the app, under My Contacts, you have your fleet manager, payroll advisor, logs advisor, road assist manager, and so many other contacts. So feel free to reach out to us anytime you need to. If we're not here, you can leave us a voicemail or send us a message. And our new phone system has a callback feature, so that's awesome. We can call you back as soon as we're in the office.
Well, the best part with that, my contact section, it does tell you where we are in the building as well. So we're all going to be over in the Z building. We're actually split between those 2 levels. So just kind of pay attention to that. It'll also let you know if we're on or off site. So that's always a great feature. So that way, you know, if it says off site, obviously we're by phone. There's always a payroll advisor here for you guys though. So don't hesitate to come see us. All of us are willing to help anyone. So just rolling into the next section. So after my contacts on the Prime app, it also has your My Information. So as Amanda was saying, you know, tax season's just right around the corner. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting your contact info for yourself updated. So on the Prime app, if you just go under the My Prime and then under My Info, this allows you to update all your information. So you always want to make sure that you definitely take a look at that. It also has your contact information as well. So your emergency contact, just always maybe double check and make sure that that's all up to date. Make sure that everything is set for you. So after you go into that, the next thing is to your tax documents. So if you want to, you can always walk through it as well. We'll kind of put some slides out, but on the tax info, we now have the ability to get the electronic documents. So that is really great for security purposes, really is, you know, it's not getting mailed to your house. It's not getting lost in the mail. I've even heard about people going into other people's mailboxes and getting their information. So you can go in on the Prime app now and get your tax documents done electronically. And this actually will get to you sooner than it would in the mail. So how you would do that is you just go on the My Prime portal and then you would go under My Prime Home, and then there's going to be a drop down on the right hand side. You would just click on that and then you would go under My Pages and then Tax Documents. This tax documents, excuse me, you'll have to opt into that option first before you would be able to see anything. So you would opt in, and then once you go back out of it, you can go back in, and it's actually going to go back even to previous years. Another great option with your 1099 or your W-2, if you are an independent contractor, it's going to have your last operating statement for the year on there as well. So you don't have to go back and find that last settlement that was sent to you. It's all going to be right there all together. So, and like I said, it's going to go back the last 7 years. So if you need to go back and get additional copies, you can retrieve them all right there. We no longer can email this information to you. So this is why this is the most secured option for you. So it's very beneficial.
And we rolled it out last year and it was our first year using it. And oh my gosh, it was so much better. We had so many people that were so grateful to have that feature available. You're not going to immediately go home and get your tax documents. You don't even know when they arrive. So this is going to be your best option to receive them, as well as your operating statement if you are an independent contractor. One thing I want to talk about too is if you are an independent contractor, don't forget we always have the ability for you to sign up for the emergency fund. I know we've had a lot of fleet managers in past weeks talk about how important it is, but I want to show you how easy it is. So under the My Prime portal, if you click My Progress, you'll scroll down underneath your lease completion incentive and it says Manage Emergency Fund. You can enroll right there from the app. You can make changes to it when you need to. You can withdraw money to the card or load it to the settlement. A lot of people use it to set aside money for tax time. So when you go to pay those quarterly taxes, you can go on the app, click load to settlement, and we can put it through to your settlement on Friday so you have it immediately in your funds and you can pay those taxes. So these are just a few of the options that we have to just get you prepared for tax season. As always, just reach out if you have questions. We don't want anyone panicking. We want everyone to be prepared. And we want you to focus on the holiday season, being with your friends, your family, or being out on the road and making money. That's what we really like for Payroll.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all so much.
All right, great job. Again, one of those about 2,000 associates that don't pick up and deliver freight, but they're still so essential to what we do on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. So,
Just need to see if Amanda may need to get her eyes checked a little bit, so.
hey, Well, speaking of donuts, I can confirm that 2 different Prime departments had some unhealthy breakfast this morning. So let's bring up Colby, the driver health and fitness, to kind of get us back on.
You're actually going to bring him up. He's wearing a Bronco. Was that Broncos?
It sure is, man. They play the Chiefs this week.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Lucky
born and raised a Bronco fan. I've been out in the open this whole time about being a Bronco fan. for not a lot of reasons. But everybody, good morning. So yeah, I'm Colby with Driver Health and Fitness. So every week we always have a health tip we want to offer to you guys. Last week when we talked about the benefits fair, saw a lot of you guys there. Well, Rachel did. I was under the weather, but got a lot of good feedback from everybody. This week, what I want to talk about is we talk about stretching a lot of things, and what we're going to do is I'm going to upload a video on our YouTube. But I want to talk about the benefits of stretching, and specifically your upper body. So on this, just a little list of a few things which you can think about, but some things we may not know is that in stretching your upper body, can also relieve tension on your neck and head. So headaches, a lot of things like that could be obviously stress. Also can increase range of motion. Also improve your posture. Can relieve stress on your lower back. We don't think about that often, but a lot of times we have lower back issues from being in a seated position. So stretching your upper body can have an impact on that. A couple other things, improving your upper body mobility, but also reducing pain in your shoulders too. So as that tip comes along, like I said, the next slide is a QR code to our YouTube channel. If you guys don't know about it, we load every video we shoot. Workouts, cooking videos, stretching videos, pre-trip stretching videos, all those things all land right here. So I would encourage you to utilize that. I will add a video on there today of some exercises. I didn't want to have Dennis up here doing them. So, but we will, I'll have something on there for you guys today. So as always, please let us know how we can help you guys. We're always here to help you. Okay.
Any questions for Colby? All right. You got off easy, man.
Hey, so last week, the gym was taken over on a Friday. We had a benefits fair, and hopefully folks that were here at the Springfield terminal got an opportunity to go and see and meet and interact with some of the folks that are readily available to you, value-added services as an associate and contractor here at Prime. So we're going to ask Brandon Mallard to come on up and talk to us about, I think today's the last day for open enrollment, isn't it?
Last call.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yep. Just wanted to get up in front of you guys one more time. Company drivers, it is last call for open enrollment. If you are wanting to make changes to your benefits, they need to be done today. So you can either call the enrollment center, doing that over the phone, log into the My Prime app. You can change your benefits there. If you're here on site, we've got Lee Macon. She's an enroller. She can help you get enrolled as well. As always, you can call me with questions. I'm more than happy to help. Definitely look at your beneficiaries. Make sure your medical, dental, vision, all that is still up to your standards, and because life changes. So today will be the last day to make any changes on that. Independent contractors. Your open enrollment had just started at the beginning of this month. Yours will run through January 15th. So you do have plenty of time, but definitely take a look at it. We have the partnership with Enrollment First. You can give them a call if you're here on site. We've got Dave Brill over here with Enrollment First. He can sit with you, help you get enrolled. But just really wanted to get out here in front of you, let you know, company drivers, this is your last chance for this year to make any changes on your benefits, okay? Any questions for me? All right, thank you.
All right, we're rolling pretty quick. Thank you, Brandon. Today's last day. It's a good idea if you need to, if you need a beneficiary, I can be your.
I'll think about it.
It's a good time to remember to change those beneficiaries if necessary. If a life event has happened, you've gotten married, no longer married, kids are of age, or whatever the case may be, it's so important that you go into all of those accounts and make sure you change your beneficiary. Sometimes we run into situations where, heaven forbid something happens to us, and we've got the ex-wife and the current wife, and we don't want you or your assets to be in those situations. So please take the opportunity to go in, update your beneficiaries if you need to. Get with your fleet manager. And I think you can actually do it on the Prime mobile app. Update your emergency contact. So if something does happen to you, we need to notify somebody. We want it to be the person that you pick, not the person you picked, 5, 6, 10 years ago when you started here. So.
Yeah, and let's not forget too, life insurance. And that's kind of what Dennis is talking about. You make sure you get some life insurance on you. That's always important. None of us are going to be here forever, and we don't know when our last day is. And something happens to you, put your family in some type of ease, when they have something and can take care of you. And cremation or burial or something. All those are pretty expensive items. But if you have just a simple small life insurance policy, and Brandon can get you set up very easily. And it's very cost affordable. Make sure you got that taken care of, because that's important. Make sure your family handle these situations a little bit easier. So,
and I don't want to quote any prices for our insurance people, but life insurance offered by Prime that Robert makes, these folks offer to you. I think it's dollars a week, literally dollars a week. So there's no reason that anybody working here at Prime, and now if you got something outside of Prime, great, but if you don't have any right now, sign up, get you for a few bucks a week, get you some life insurance, and you'll be fine.
You know what, Dennis, we're very fortunate too to have our vendors back there. If you're a vendor here, you work with Prime, if you can all please stand up, we'd love to give you a round of applause for supporting our drivers and our company. And you know what? We thought we'd switch it up today. Instead of having somebody from our Prime maintenance team, we're going to ask Van Gertner. Van works with Peterbilt, the Larson Group here in town, and we're going to have old Van come up here. Haven't seen him in a while, and kind of give us an update on the Peterbilt. So if you got Peterbilt, make sure you listen up. Good morning, Van. How you doing?
Morning. How are you this morning?
Man, you're looking pretty good, slimming down.
Yeah, I'm glad. I had a minor heart attack on April, so we dropped a lot of weight in a hurry after that deal.
Well, we're glad you're okay, man. It's just great having you here. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I am an on-site vendor rep. I am here for Peterbilt. I'm not employed by Prime, but they are gracious enough to leave us here on site. I sit down by leasing if you ever need me. I've been up here a while. We just want to talk real quick. Obviously, we've had some injector faults show up, and you're going to see some campaigns coming out. One of the things Peterbilt is doing is they've got some guys doing prognostics. Your road assist will reach out to you. Basically what it is there's teams of people now trying to predict failures before the engine fails, before an injector fails, before a part fails. So if you see things come up from your road assist on, hey, you've got a campaign that needs done, that's why. Try not to ignore those. Try to work in as best you can to get them done as quickly as possible. It's because someone's decided that it's better to go change that part before failure than after. Obviously for everybody involved, you too, not being down for very long, if we can avoid that. The other thing that's coming up is we need to be careful with our PM services and making sure we're getting those done on time, not over. I have had, unfortunately, a few that were over, and people are starting to pay attention to maintenance heavily on the trucks. It's a big deal for our longevity of the trucks and how often we're down and how long we're down. So please be mindful of that and pay attention to your road assist advisor when they tell you things do need to be done. The other thing I wanted to remind everybody, which they already started talking about, is it is getting close to winter time. There's snow in places, it's getting cold. Anti-gel is your friend. Keep it with you. Prime has a great deal on it here. I'm a huge diesel power service anti-gel fan. I use it in my own pickup. I know that it works. They know that it works. The stuff that Prime sells here works. It's been tested in our own trucks. We see the actual value in using this. Keep it with you. Buy it here. I'm also an advocate for keeping an extra set of fuel filters on your truck during the winter, because if you do have a gel up event and you have to have a road service, having your own filters is going to save you from paying markup to them, and you're going to make sure you have the right filters on your truck, because it's easier to restart an engine that's gelled up if they drop new filters in it and reprime it. So it is worth buying them here at Prime, saving that money, keeping them on your truck through the winter just in case you do need them. But other than that, I'm good unless you've got questions for me or concerns. Or
any questions? One right over there, Stan. Can you go get Frank over there and get him handled?
Just a quick question on anti-gel. Is there a period of time where it will degrade and then not be useful anymore? Because sometimes you might have some that sits on your truck a couple years, you didn't use, and you replenish it, and then you get these bottles that if you don't rotate them. So is there kind of a period of time where it's expired and it shouldn't be used, or is it pretty much stay good for quite a while?
I'm not sure I'm an expert enough to answer that, but I don't believe so. And I will tell you the stuff I'm using in my pickup now, I bought in bulk on sale 3 years ago. And I haven't had any failures that I could say were related to that. I'm not sure if we've got anybody we could ever ask, but I think that the shelf life on that's long enough, we probably won't be concerned with that.
Any other questions? Oh, right here, Stan. Keep it staying busy.
Thanks. we've got a new page 25. How do I figure out if there is a code or something that needs to be attended to? To just give you the truck number? Can I walk over there and just give somebody the truck number and they look it up on the computer?
They can. So your road assist should be your first stop if you have a concern, right? They can look up almost everything I can if they want to look and see if there's a code active on your truck. Obviously, if you've got a light on, you've got a code on, right? But road assist, we have a portal where we can do this online. We can actually see trucks remotely for engine and after treatment faults. So if you have a concern, call your road assist advisor and say, hey, I'm concerned. Can you see anything on my truck? And they can look it up and see it in real time.
Good. That's good. All right. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else, including Salt Lake or Pittston? I think that's it, man. You got off pretty easy there, man. Thank you for coming up this morning,
Thank you for
buddy.
having me.
Yeah. All right. Dennis, we're so fortunate to have our vendors like Van, and we got Dennis for Freightliner. They sit about 15 feet. We got Chad also from our Rush group over there, International, right close to our desk. I know there's times we come up with safety questions on the technology because every one of these trucks and the manufacturer's a little bit different. Sometimes, we could step over and ask them questions. So can all of our drivers. If you ever have questions, man, stop up there. I get numerous drivers come by, who's our Pete rep, who's our Freightliner rep, who's in, or whatever, and we'll get you in contact with them about 15 feet from our desk. So it's really easy.
Dave, somebody from Prime keeps calling me. I guess they're not watching the meeting. They just don't realize I'm busy.
That or they're watching the meeting and calling you to see if you answer your phone.
Yeah, maybe.
Distractive talking.
You don't want a camera? No.
That's a good one.
I'm terrible.
Yeah, Bill call you.
I'm terrible. Bill's calling me and told me he doesn't want a camera. So, we joke, but, fun is a part of what we do and a part of, one of our core values. But we do have a few extra minutes. So if somebody does have questions about, the camera or Geotab, we've got, Dave and I, we may have to recruit Brienne to ask some of the more specific technical questions that there may be. We'll spend a few minutes answering some questions. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning. Just had a question. I've been on the Geotab for a little while on the Copilot GPS, and we got a pretty cool button like as our trip on the Prime app. You hit send to Copilot, sends it to the GPS app. Pretty good. But let's say I'm looking for a washout or something. They don't have a button like that on that side. Have you heard anything about them adding that functionality to the services and fuel tab on the Prime app?
So that's one of those technical questions that we're going to draft Brienne to answer for.
I think that's called call a friend, right, Dennis?
There you go.
We don't have that button yet, but we will be adding in the fuel stations and the wash codes. If you know the code, you can look it up inside of Copilot.
Anybody else? Stan? Thank you.
Hey, I've had Geotab for a few weeks now, and the biggest thing I found out, as soon as you get it, don't think you're driving out. You're going to have 2 or 3 hours of learning that thing. So pay attention, go through it, look at it, because it'll mess you up.
So what you're saying is before you take your first load with it, make sure you understand it, go through it. If you got questions, especially if you're one of our terminals, best place to ask right there. Come on in, give us a call or give IT a call if it's Geotab, and we'll get watch the videos. Yes, very much so. They're out there. That's why they're there. And just like me and Dennis, we'd watch the Geotab and Netrodyne videos many times to get our answers. And so good point. Anyone else? This is your time. Man, you got off easy, Dennis.
A story of my life, right? So in actuality, it's consistent with at least what I thought. And, me and Brienne have had conversations about this. Once and of course, they're two separate things. One's the camera, the Netrodyne, and one's the in-cab mobile communication device, the Geotab. We said, Geotab is really the major part of this deal. The camera, that's easy. Once people have that camera, there'll be some discomfort. 2 weeks later, they'll forget it's there. Most of the questions that we get, most of the feedback we get are just like these two gentlemen here. They have nothing to do with the camera. They probably forgot it was there. It's the geotab that they're using essentially all day long, every day for various different things. It's not only the EOD, but it provides, other services for you. So, definitely, again, as I stated earlier in the meeting, if you haven't transitioned yet, we've got, some 1,700 plus drivers that have, but if you haven't, please don't kick the can down the road. Please don't delay. If you have questions that you're not, comfortable asking Dave or I or Brienne, who has the system in their truck right now? Here, raise your hand. Look around the room. Talk to these folks. We haven't paid any of them anything extra to say anything good or better or different. Bruce Reeves, I remember about a year ago, he about ran me out of the driver advisory board calling me everything except a child of God because we're putting cameras in the truck. Now he's one of the biggest advocates, and I haven't given you a cent. So, it's purely organic. It's exactly, it's not a perfect system. Nothing is. But, here in just the first week alone, we've seen some things and we were saying, oh, thank God we got this camera in here. This is really, going to be a good return on the investment. So
just overnight, we saw a couple before we come down here. Yeah.
Just overnight. Yeah.
There's
Just
no doubt.
overnight that it just,
Keeps us out of the accident, keeps us out of the litigation, the police report. I mean, when we got the camera to show the officer, hey, right there, and it makes it so much simpler. And most importantly, it keeps you out of it. So, but yeah, if you're thinking about it, and I know we've talked to these people, or some of our drivers, I think I'm just going to quit. Don't do that. So many of you have got so much invested in Prime. And before you just throw in the towel and say, I'm going to quit and go someplace else and try to find a carrier that doesn't use cameras, give it a shot. It doesn't hurt to give it a 60-day run, 90-day run, and see what you think. Because, we've had a lot of people change their minds. That started out, they hated it, didn't want to do it. And Dennis got ran out many times. His approval rating really dropped around here, but I think it's starting to come back a little bit, and it will, and it just takes some time of getting used to it. It's like anything. And we just want you safe, and we want you protected out there at the end of the day. And that's what these cameras are for. And the geotab system is going to work so much better than the other one that we use. I won't say the name, but you know what I mean.
So my approval rating dropped, probably still hanging down in that low spot, and that's fine. I'll own it. But I'm gonna bring Steve Wucky up. His approval rating is shooting through the roof because freight's picking up. And before I get too far along and he kicks me off the stage, this man right here, he's a veteran. He served our country in the armed forces like so many of you. So just another quick reminder, next Wednesday is the Veterans Banquet. If you have not RSVP'd, jump on the Prime mobile app, RSVP, get with your fleet manager, get here. We'd love to see you. So with that being said, we've got on red. Steve's got on red. We remember everyone deployed here at Prime. So if you served in our armed forces, just like Steve Wucky, if you would stand for just a second and give us an opportunity to honor you.
Please stand up. We appreciate your service to our country. You bet. Thank you. Dennis, thanks very much. Appreciate you. This has been a great meeting. I'm going to bring up one of our up and coming stars, in my opinion, in our marketing area. Mitch, come on up here. Dennis tried to steal the topic, but I'm going to let Mitch talk just a little bit about this veteran event coming up this week. Man, we really do appreciate everybody that has served our country. And we also love to celebrate over dinner and drinks. So Mitch, tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, we do. Steve kind of put me on the spot here, but I don't want to give away too many details on next week because we like to keep the excitement and the suspicion of what's going to happen. But I can say, we're going to do it up big. So next Wednesday, November 13th, here in Springfield, Missouri, at the Oasis Convention Center is going to be our first ever Veterans Ball. You hear it every week, but veteran drivers here especially are unbelievably important to us, and they do great things. So we want to take this opportunity to honor you and celebrate the sacrifices that you made for our country. So part of that, like Steve said, we're going to do it up big. We're going to have a couple military themed trucks there. One may be in a spot that you don't expect it. We're going to have a great dinner. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have dancing. As far as attire goes, there's some folks that can still fit into their military blues. Feel free to wear it if you can. If not, wear whatever you feel comfortable in, and we're going to have a great time. So like Dennis said, Prime mobile app, there's a link on there to RSVP. We prefer to have your RSVP beforehand. If not, and you just show up, non-veterans like myself and some others will stand up and let you have your meal, dance, party, do your thing, because the night is really all about you. So thank you.
Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate it very much. And we have a great group, Mitch and Jamie and Clayton Brown. They do a ton of really good things behind the scene for our events, and appreciate you guys very much. So thanks for that. I'm going to just touch on a couple of things here. Number one, winter driving. It's supremely dangerous, and we never have a load that is so important that you try to run through bad weather. Just call your fleet manager if you don't feel comfortable. Let him know where you are, what you're doing, and when you think you might be able to move. We don't have a customer to roll a load over to make delivery. So just communicate with your fleet managers. It's not a big ego thing. Don't do it. It's your livelihood. It's your career. So please think about that. Be safe. We need you to think about winter driving and the danger that's associated with it. Second of all, I'd like to touch on this camera thing just for a minute. I know Dennis has caught a little bit of heat over it, but these cameras are being distributed and integrated for the right reason. It's all about safety, and that's about you as a driver, and it's about the motoring public. So please think in terms of being a safer operator. And it's not about trying to do anything other than protect you and the people that are around you. And I would suggest, as Dennis said, please give it a shot if you have some remorse or concern about just exactly what the purpose is. Man, put that thing in there and work with it. I agree with you all that maybe had some reservations, but now you understand the purpose, and it does definitely make you a better driver. And certainly I should have a camera because I'm not a very good driver, but I'd blow that thing up now. But anyway, please understand the purpose of the cameras. And ultimately, I believe there won't be a really good carrier out there that won't have the same cameras that we're going to implement with. So think about that. On the business side, we should be in for a good run here up through Thanksgiving. Appreciate you being out there hauling freight. We got to get those shelves stocked so we can all eat too much around Thanksgiving, do a lot of shopping. So please, if you can, get out there and haul some freight here between now and Thanksgiving. We'll get that behind us, and then we'll have a good run until the holiday Christmas. So thank you all very much for what you do. We're going to keep fighting it. I was just at a customer this week, which is really encouraging to me. One of our top 10 customers who actually had 20% growth last year in their total volume. And we're doing about $1 million a week with them. After the meeting, they're telling us this coming year, they're going to grow another 20%. So I think it's encouraging when we see our customers really get robust on growth. And I think it's coming. So, this election, maybe it gave some people a different view of the economy and maybe a little more confidence in spending. So we appreciate you all very much, and just get out there and be safe. Haul that freight and be safe. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm going to bring up Robert Lowe, who started this company about 54 years ago or so. He's a veteran, and he's got a little gray on him, but he's still solid.
A little, very little, and it's going away rapidly. Folks, good morning. Good to see you all. Appreciate you very much. I gotta hand it to Steve. I hate to brag on it too much because he gets all his head gets so big it won't fit through his shirt anymore. So but he is a trooper. You know, he has really stayed with these customers, fought through these slow times, just done a really good job. He's been feeling a little bit under the weather, but you know, he answers the bell. He really
Under the weather? What weather are you talking about, man? I'm just fine.
He just doesn't admit it. You know, nothing bothers him. He keeps on going. Just like many, you know, we have in-house, we have about 2,000 prime associates that support you all. Moving the, you know, there's a lot going on in the background, right? I mean, the billing, payroll, you know, safety, you know, all those things going on, you know, the training aspect. And I'd like to welcome our PSD, our prime student drivers that are here this morning. Appreciate you all choosing prime. You're not going to be sorry. I promise you that. But these folks, you know, back to, you know, the personnel behind the scenes do a heck of a job, you know, supporting you all and this company and our customers. So I want to give them a little love this morning. Dee Sova, superstar. She's here this morning and she does an outstanding. She's one of those people behind the scenes. And as you interact with these folks, I hope that you sense, you know, the dedication, the quality, you know, their breadth of knowledge of their area of responsibility, and their, you know, the commonality is respect and appreciation for you all, the folks that make the sacrifice, deliver the loads on time, and all the things you sacrifice as truck drivers. I mean, there's some sacrifice involved. Time away from home, missed weddings, birthdays, graduation, all those things that drivers sacrifice in most cases to drive these trucks and deliver this, you know, wonderful country, the products that we need. So I thank you for that.
Let me ask you a question, if I might interrupt. Have you taken
Didn't
your...
ever bother you to interrupt me before when I was starting out?
True enough. Have you taken your Zoom training? Can you use your phone? I mean, I'm going to admit, as soon as this meeting's over, I'm going to beg for help and training because I'm not a Zoomer yet.
Yeah, I got to admit, I'm not either, but I know I'm going to get scolded if I don't. So I will. I'll get there.
You get there too?
Might be late tonight, but I'll get there. Anyway, thanks, folks, for all you do. You know, business is gradually improving. You know, that load count is going up, you know, a little bit down this week because folks took off and to vote, and I appreciate that. You know, there's something else going on last weekend too, wasn't there?
Halloween. That's now a holiday.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're a little bit off on the available number, but we're catching up quick. So again, thank you for what you do. God bless you and please be safe.
Thank you.